3 instances of creepy animal behavior is what we're reacting to today by Spooked. It makes me think about the way that you see in some videos, like a dog will be barking at something that isn't there. Well, technically it might be there, but they say that animals can perceive things like the paranormal stuff that humans can't, you know? And it's kind of cool and interesting to think about what we're going to see in today's video, but it's by Spooked, so make sure to head to his channel and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos, subscribe to my channel as well. Let's get into these stories.
I live in a relatively small town in Ohio. Around town, there's an urban legend of Dolly the horse, which was a brown horse that wandered around town and would stop to stare at people, all while making a crazy, low-pitched growling. It was one of the most random myths I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's pretty random.
It really used to creep me out as a kid when my parents first told me about it.
Horses are usually so
About a week ago, though, I woke up in the middle of the night by some sort of growling coming from outside my bedroom window. I thought nothing of it, because we lived right next to a farm that had a few horses. Though they never wake me up like this. I got up and opened the window to maybe try and shoo the horse away. But that's when I was faced with what made my blood run cold. It was a brown horse, just standing there.
Oh my god.
About 6 feet away from my window, forcefully staring dead into my eyes.
Makes it look really creepy. I got the chills so
growling
bad,
in a
dude.
slow and continuous manner, and it seemed like he never took pauses to breathe, like the noise was part of him. As much as I couldn't believe it was Dolly the horse, I was also creeped out by his presence right outside my window.
Yeah.
I decided to take a picture of him, putting the flash on. It was too dark on my phone's camera. As soon as the flash went off, though, his growling suddenly stopped. Call me a scaredy cat, but out of fear, I immediately closed the window because, for some reason, I felt like he was going to charge at my window or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yet instead, he just stood there and kept making that same nightmarish eye contact with me.
Wow.
I went back to bed and somehow made it to sleep. I woke up the next morning and jumped to my window, but
the horse was gone.
Just like that, the horse was gone. I showed my parents the picture, and they were both in disbelief that the horse was actually growling.
So it actually showed up.
Growl for no reason, especially alone at midnight.
Freaking demon horse.
Though what I saw yesterday night made it real. And it still creeps me out that this horse just stood perfectly still, looking at me. Maybe it was a horse with some sort of disability, or maybe it was actually Dolly the horse.
It could have been Dolly.
It was definitely one of the creepiest things I ever saw.
Honestly, too, man. Not only that, but horses can really hurt you. If it was a real horse that was scared or angry
I'm a night guard at a zoo.
Sick.
My job basically consists of me going around the zoo at night and making sure there's nothing out of the ordinary. And the animals are there where they need to be. Last night, though, I wish I hadn't seen what I saw. I was wandering the aquarium section, which is a large underground tunnel area with 20 feet tall aquariums, where you could see fish basically everywhere around you.
Those are really cool.
It was my favorite spot to guard because it was indoors, but also because looking around the various fish is always so interesting. That was when, for some reason, the fish started to become more agitated. They were all sort of swimming faster than usual. I thought this was really curious, but maybe it was because of my presence. About 2 minutes later, though, I heard splashing. I saw the piranhas get really excited and swim even faster. So much so that they formed a circle around something that I couldn't make out.
Was it a body?
What the hell? I rushed upstairs to the aquarium surface area, and that's when I saw it. It was blood, dissolving in the water from some sort of body part.
Oh my god, dude!
Feasting onto it. I realized someone had somehow broken into the zoo and either dumped something in the water. I look around, but there's nothing. No evidence of anything. I carefully make my way to the security camera room to look over the footage. I look at each monitor to see something out of the ordinary. But virtually all of the footage was just a black screen. Someone had painted the cameras. That's why I noticed something strange in one camera. It was a camera surveilling near the back end of the zoo. I look closer, only to see a man in some sort of mask standing right in front of the camera.
Wow.
I see him putting a finger up to his lips, as if telling whoever was watching the camera footage to stay silent. About what I just witnessed, I was guessing. My heart was beating so fast now. Then he suddenly turned around and made his way out.
Right.
I immediately called the cops. They came in within 5 minutes, but found nothing. I was hoping they would find a bloodstain, but not even that. Even on the security cameras, we just see him stand in front of the camera and walk away. Weird. This guy's plan was perfectly thought out, which made the whole thing even more creepy.
Right.
Not to mention the obvious, I quit my job right then and there.
Oh, I guess so, man. Wow. What the heck with that, dude?
For context, I live in the middle of the woods.
Right.
There's a small open field not far from my house, which is where I sometimes see a deer or two, a fox on a rare occasion.
That's beautiful when you can see a deer in the wild like that, man.
Last week, I was looking outside my window, something I always do, since my room is on the second floor.
Yeah.
I can always get a good look outside from there. I especially do it during nighttime, where I can see the stars and the trees moving in the slight wind.
It's gonna be scary.
One night, I heard my dog whimper from downstairs, so I figured that he simply needed to go out to do his business.
Oh, no.
As I walked up to him, though, I noticed he had a scared facial expression.
Yeah.
Every time I tried getting closer to the front door, he would just let out an even more scared cry.
He was worried.
Almost giving me a sign that something wasn't right.
Bad.
I brushed it off as a simple stranger walking past my house, and that must have probably comforted my dog or something. After 20 minutes or so of cuddling with her, she began wagging her tail once again.
Right.
I began walking upstairs to go to my room.
She wasn't worried no more.
But I heard the familiar noise of claws hitting the wooden steps right behind me.
Okay.
Turned around and saw that my dog wanted to follow me, so I let him. Yeah. Since there's no harm in him staying with me in my room apart from her trying to eat the cat's food now and then. Just when I thought that my dog calmed down completely, my cat, that was sitting on the windowsill and looking outside through the window, began bristling her fur and baring her fangs to what seemed like nothing in particular. This time I sensed something was off.
Yeah.
I thought that someone might be trying to break into my house, so I looked outside for it myself. I froze.
What did you
see?
Right
in front of my house stood what looked like a dog. I could barely make out its features.
It looks mean.
And the fact that the only source of light was a nearby street light.
Right.
It was black and extremely skinny. At first, I thought about going out there to feed the poor thing. But then I took a closer look at it.
Call animal
its
control,
paws were twisted in different directions. The worst part was the eyes. They were completely white. Just two glowing white circles.
Demon dog?
Illuminating the rest of that thing's muzzle.
The dang devil!
Me and the dog had a short staring contest, deep into each other's eyes. It began making noises that I could only describe as gurgling, like it was choking on some very thick liquid. Something began dripping from its mouth. At first, I reasoned with myself that this could simply be a stray dog with rabies or something like that. But then it hit me. The liquid dripping from the thing's mouth wasn't the iconic rabies foam.
Right.
It was blood.
It was blood.
Not only that, the dog was too thin to be alive. And also the eyes were simply too big to belong to any creature.
Alive. Oh my god.
It was too unnatural.
It was...
I had a very hard time falling asleep that night, with both of my pets curled up with me in bed. The next morning, when I took a look outside, the only sign that the creature was ever there was the blood stain on the grass.
Wow.
It must have been there for much longer than I stared at it, since the puddle of red liquid was bigger than before.
Really?
After I took a shower and ate breakfast, I took my dog on a walk. Me and my pets are best friends.
Yeah.
We understand each other, always. That's why I got a very bad feeling as soon as I noticed that my dog is bristling her fur to look bigger. I walked a few more steps and saw my neighbor's cat dead on the forest floor, a small puddle of blood surrounding its head.
So it ate
And what
the
terrified me the most, its throat was ripped open.
Yeah.
I could tell it was the neighbor's cat, thanks
to
to a signature V-shaped nick in one ear.
Crazy freaking
Besides,
dog.
the markings were easy to recognize as well.
Right.
I moved the poor animal on the side of the pathway and decided to inform my neighbor as soon as I got home via a phone call.
Right.
My dog was just as eager to go back home as I was.
I guess so, man.
When he finally came back, I called my neighbor.
Yeah.
She got really emotional, thanked me, and promised me to take care of the poor thing.
Man,
gave my dog some supermarket food, only to realize that I was running low on just that. The closest store is 35 minutes away from my house by bike.
No.
So a few hours later, I decided to go out to get some groceries.
Right.
I prepared my bike, opened the front door, and froze. I saw my neighbor's cat sitting on my porch. It stared deep into my eyes.
The dead one?
Its neck was not ripped, but its legs looked so unnaturally long and thin.
What the hell?
I instantly went back inside and locked the door. That was a few days ago. The dog still appears, somehow looking thinner and thinner every single day.
Oh my gosh.
Yesterday, I looked into its eyes. I heard the sound of something I can only describe as bones being broken. And I kid you not, the thing smiled at me. I don't go outside anymore.
What the hell is it? That's what I want to know. It's some sort of supernatural dog. Oh, maybe it's an SCP. You guys, Spooked. Make sure to give this man a sub. Excellent narrator. Awesome stories all the time. As well as some other Spooked reactions that I've done. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.